Aloha, y'all. It is Wednesday, Woden's Day, hence the name, the 23rd. I'm getting the date right today. I didn't get it right yesterday. 23rd of March. Let's go ahead and get the astrology in. Sun is at 2 degrees, 49 minutes Aries. The moon is at 9 degrees, 57 minutes Sag, almost 10 degrees. So we got a whole lot of fire action going on. Mercury is at 22 degrees, 48 minutes Pisces. Venus is at 16 degrees Aquarius. Mars is at 12 degrees, 54 minutes Aquarius. So Venus and Mars are conjunct, but Venus is pulling ahead pretty, steadily. The conjunction is getting looser, let's just put it that way. Jupiter is at 19 degrees Pisces. That is conjunct Mercury still. Saturn is at 21 degrees Aquarius. So Venus is starting to get closer to being in conjunction with that. Uranus is at 12 degrees Taurus. Neptune's at 23 degrees Pisces, conjunct Mercury. Pluto's in Capricorn at 28 degrees, and the North Node is at 23 degrees Taurus. It is a Manipur Chakra day, a solar plexus chakra in layman's terms. If you don't know Sanskrit, I don't, or Hindi, or whatever it is. Manipur Chakra. It's below your ribs. It's right in front of your belly button, really. Keywords are wisdom, clarity, and self-esteem. Positive aspects are confidence, alertness, optimism, good humor. There's a pretty little bird chirping here in Costa Rica. Negative aspects, feelings of inferiority, over-analytical, sarcastic, and pessimistic. The mantra is Ram, so if you're going to be toning chakras, which I highly suggest actually, you go Ram, like Ram Dass, Ram. In the key of E, spiritual activities include leadership programs, psychotherapy, and solitude. Essential oils are lemon, grapefruit, and juniper. The plant is carnation. Metals are iron and gold. The element is fire. This is the fire in your belly. Like I said, the musical note is E. Crystals are topaz, amber, and citrine, and the soul lesson is human and divine love through the power of the will center. The emotional will center is your solar plexus. So let's go ahead and get some cards, shall we? Hopefully y'all are doing well. Oh, my mom is saying good morning on Instagram, I guess. So, let me just shuffle these up a little. It's a beautiful day. I've been here almost a month out of the 3. So that's pretty crazy. Today on the podcast, it'll be episode 273. We've got Rebecca Magic coming on. She is really cool. Hold on. I pulled the card. I'm just putting these cards this way. All right. So, she does tarot on like new quarter moons, full moons, stuff like that. And she is into Kabbalah. She lives out in Sedona, so that'll be a good little episode for sharks. We got the 10 of Cups. This is one of the better cards. There's not good and bad tarot cards particularly, but some cards are very positive and overflowing with joy. That is this one. 10s are the end of the journey. The quintessence of the minor arcana of that suit. This suit is the Cups, so if you're a Cancer, if you're a Cancer, Scorpio, there we go, and a Pisces, you will be this suit naturally, the Cups suit. And the 10 of Cups is as follows. 10 of Cups. Crafting a legacy, ultimate contentedness, creating a long-lasting bond with those you call family. 10 of Cups, I experience the joy of a loving connection. There is something exquisite and miraculous about journeying with fellow travelers on this road called life. We are not alone. Loneliness is a great deprivation, and it's becoming more prevalent in the face of divorce, increasing mobility, and an aging population. The people in our lives offer up reflections of ourselves. Like some great fractal, different facets of ourselves are revealed, contrasting edges of our character flame into existence with another personality, another energy, life-giving and sustaining. When we are alone, our needs remain unseen and unheard, our stories unshared. We lose ourselves in the vastness of thought and the emptiness of four walls. Only now is loneliness coming out and being seen to be the great premature killer that it is. And so it is that we can be incredibly thankful for all the people who show up in our lives. Service providers, neighbors, colleagues, community members, friends, and if you have been so blessed, the families that we have. This was one of the most poignant contrasts we found in Bali, with little room for loneliness when old and young live all together in extended family compounds. Besides the all year-round warm weather and the nature of their spiritual traditions encouraging meeting outdoors, we see a family in the card, within a bejeweled circle of cups, which seems to burst with rainbow light, the full spectrum of color available to them. Cups, as we know, represent the element of water. Visible light is the only part of the electromagnetic spectrum that can refract in water. This led to the evolution of the first appearance of eyes millions of years ago in the vast oceans of Earth. A mother, father, and their daughter, who look set to make her mark in the world, are being showered by a gentle golden light from the cups above. The family cat completes the scene, communicating embodied sensuality and independence. A soul just happy to chill in the sun. The Ten of Cups invites you to take time to connect with special people in your life, those you love and have traveled with for some time. Acknowledge their presence in your life with fresh eyes. Experience their beauty, their courage, fortitude, their wisdom, feeling into and through their story to fathom their radiance. Everyone around us is a gift, a reflection. Everyone around us is a teacher, showing us where we get caught in the web of judgments and self-righteousness, of separation and ignorance. If we would only give ourselves more moments to experience first the joy of loving connection with ourselves, and then turn to others to give, turn to the other to give love and appreciate the miracle of their existence. The family that birthed and grew you, and the family you intend to create for yourself, are realms of incredible possibility when you choose to let them guide you to become the best version of yourself. To love and enjoy your family, you must first accept them as they are, accept yourself as you are, and then invent ways to touch and be touched by their lives. Let old ancestral patterns fall away. Pick up the arrows of judgment and transform them into flowers of love, gifting them to yourself, your family, and the world. So the Ten of Cups is the card on this Woden's Day. We have the solar plexus, the fire of the belly, but with the sun and moon in, the sun is in Aries and the moon is in Sagittarius. We look at all this like fiery energy. It's a cup, but this is very fiery colors. We have the ability to really burn brightly our love for others and our appreciation, our emotional contentedness for others, right? So the Ten of Cups is crafting your legacy, ultimate contentedness, creating long-lasting bonds with those that you do call family. Let's go ahead and get a clarifying card. I think it's ironic that my mom popped on Instagram when I was just about to pull this card. Oh, I'm pulling the wrong deck here. Whoops. I was like, I've already pulled a Starman card. Derp. What I was trying to do is this. Let's pull a clarification card. So, we've got the Three of Swords. Typically, oh, well, this is kind of a contrast, I guess. This is typically about like heartbreak and loss and mental anguish. In this card, it's showing a little alien that is a UFO, but it looks very conspicuously like a mushroom. Three of Swords is the clarifier to this Ten of Cups card. Kind of shows the yin-yang of life. Ten of Cups, all the goods, and Three of Swords, all the white and all the black, with dots in each. Three of Swords. I see life as cruel and meaningless. This is freedom arrived at through despair, questioning everything, asking quality questions. Life is cruel and without meaning. So I think actually it's saying to appreciate your family, right? Ten of Cups. And sometimes that loneliness, right? That aloneness that can kill us causes us, that despair, that isolation, that mental anguish can cause us to really appreciate our pets, our friends, our family, our colleagues, our community. It's just the way it is, right? That's the kind of the nature of the yin yang. So you have, all white, but there's a little black in there. So it's like everything with a pinch of salt, like, all that glitters is not gold. And then you have all the black with the white in it. It's like even in the darkest times, you have hope. So even in the darkest times, you're never actually alone. You can call upon your ancestors. They're in your blood. They're probably surrounding us. I don't know how metaphysically that works, personally, but you have guides. You have literal family that you know, have in the flesh, potentially siblings, right? Neighbors, the dogs that bark, that can get ingratiating on me and annoying, right? But at some level, I appreciate them and really think they're cute too. So on this Manipur solar plexus day, let's take our willpower and try to see. It's a little like Pollyanna, right? Where it's like, oh my gosh, there's this old lady and all she sees is the crab, like Miss Crabapple or whatever her name is. I don't even remember. Crabtree or something like that. And she's like just a crabby lady. And that's distracting. She's a crabby lady, but and she's like lonely and alone. But Pollyanna comes in and brightens up her day and makes her feel included. And ultimately, she's reintroduced to the community, has her lifeblood, is kind of a valuable asset to the community. If you haven't seen the movie Pollyanna, it's a good Disney film for kids and adults alike. Let's go ahead and get an animal oracle card. Hopefully, you're all doing well on this Woden's Day. We got the dolphin. Happiness. This is very Ten of Cups energy. Number 42, the secret to the meaning of the universe and everything, according to Hitchhiker's Guide, which ironically also has dolphins in it. So long and thanks for the fish. Right? So, the dolphin. Happiness. Happiness is not a continuous state, although it is a worthy feeling to seek, right? So when we do have the good times, let the good times roll. Enjoy them while they're there, right? Because there's going to be times when your cup doesn't, you know, you feel like your cup's empty and you feel like distraught and alone. And those alone times are what actually kick us back into appreciation and gratitude, right? It's the circle of life. So it takes both and, you know, good, the best of days. It's the best of times. It was the worst of times. But what was it really? One big moment where we were acting as free will beings on a dream, right? Manipur Chakra. You're always in the thing. Like it's always a happening. And then it's a matter of your perception on the situation. If you can be a little more grateful, a little more aware, a little more inclusive, right? Your dream will be that much better. But that does not mean that there aren't bad days. And, you know, like I woke up on the wrong side of the bed, or my God, I'm not communicating well with my spouse, or, you know, the dog is barking and it's annoying me, whatever, whatever, that kind of thing, right? Ultimately, we need to get over those kind of petty mental, because the Three of Swords is the clarifier, is very mental, right? Sword. We need to get over the mental kind of differentiations and isolations and annoyances and step into our hearts, step into our emotions and awareness that it's all good, right? And that's how you find what? Contentedness and happiness, ultimate contentedness. Happiness is not a continuous state, although it is a worthy feeling to seek. Know what makes you happy and do more of this, right? So it's like, do the little things that add up to your day, like every couple minutes, I mean, every hour, maybe, whatever. Do something that really kind of gets your mojo going, right? If you're into coffee, have a cup of coffee. If you're into, like, I really like waking up right before dawn now. I mean, maybe I'm getting old, but I've always really appreciated like sunset time and sunrise time because the shift of the atmosphere is so palpable, right? You're going from night and it's quiet and the birds start kicking awake and the sun and all the light is changing. Here, especially with the Caribbean side, is where the sun is coming up here and it sets over on the Pacific side of Costa Rica. Obviously, a little geography, but you get colors like this very regularly, and it makes my eyes go like that. Oh my gosh, look how beautiful this is. So try to do something that makes you really happy. Listen to a song, find anthems. You know, you don't just be aimlessly listening to stuff. Like listen to songs that make you nostalgic or happy or stoked or pensive and in a good way, thoughtful, creative. Even doing these kind of breaths. I've been doing this lately because, well, I don't know where I heard it, but it's called like the air breath or something. And apparently my fiance was saying Tony Robbins does this kind of stuff. But if you get your arms here, breathing through your nose and be like 40 times, you know, I do it 3 sets of 30. You get really zoned in, your blood starts flowing, your kundalini is activated in a sense, and you are focused and calm simultaneously. Just do little things that make you happy when you can. Happiness has everything to do with your reaction to life rather than what happens to you from outside sources, right? So there's slings and arrows of outrageous fortune that are going to fuck with our heads always. There's always something that could be going wrong. Are you focusing on that? That's the question, because everything's all good always. We just don't, I mean, everything is perfectly as it should be. Even national tension, I mean, humans kind of make it the drama that it is, I guess you could say, but whether it's national tensions or Hiroshimas or whatever, and this kind of actually kind of looks like a, you know, mushroom cloud in a very abstract way. alien invasions. Oh my gosh, they're going to take over our planet. There's always something that is going to make us worried, panicked. Our brains have evolved to basically be discontent. And we have to go back to that original state, which is we are in a womb of creation, being gestated constantly. And happiness is a state to engender and pursue, right? So it's about how you react, how you respond, as opposed to, just like it says how you react to life rather than what happens to you from outside sources. So it's like be responsible, able to respond, and kind of coax the best things out. Always look at the bright side of life, as they say in Monty Python, with themselves on crosses dying. Always look on the bright side of life. That's a British artifact of culture, as is the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which is I was referencing earlier. So a lot of British energy coming out. My fiance is British. Yeah, so it's a matter of perspective. We're always embedded within the beauty that is, right? The Ten of Cups. But there's always something that could be improved upon, or that, we always see the stain on the sheets or whatever, right? We're like, oh my gosh, that's not perfect. We just need to start training our brains to be like, laugh at that, right? It was saying to be good humored in the solar plexus chakra. That was part of one of the positive aspects. That's the laughing Buddha. It's like, no, it's not perfect, but haha, it's perfect as it is. And that's how you find happiness. So, if you place your happiness solely in the hands of other people, then you will be disappointed. That's the Three of Swords clarifier, right? So it's like, oh my gosh, I have a family. Oh my gosh, I'm in a community. And then it's like, well, that person snores. And this person's annoying me or whatever, right? So we need to realize that if we put our perspective of happiness and contentedness in the reality of others completely, as opposed to in ourselves first, we're going to be disappointed pretty badly every time. Mythos. The goddess Yamaya began as an Orisha, a spirit of rivers and watery places in Africa. When her waters broke, all the waters of the world were released. So her realm is the water, whether that be by sea or be a sea or a river or the ocean itself. And with Mercury, Neptune, Jupiter, and Pisces, Neptune conjunct Mercury, right? We have this very watery kind of imagery. Yamaya slips between the waves, fish-tailed like a mermaid playing between the waves with moonlight woven within her hair. She is the mother of all, Ten of Cups, the mother of all. And the nourishing and life-giving power of water, that is Ten of Cups. As her people were taken upon the slave boats to faraway lands, very Three of Swords, like not all that glitters is gold. Getting put into slavery sucks. There's always silver lining. Slavery sucks, but that's where the spiritual depth and the like gospel music essentially can come from. She is the mother. Okay, so as her people were taken away on the slave boats to faraway lands, they still honored her in the bellies of these dark, dank, death-stalked vessels. Moon in Sagittarius. These people were on a journey. They were traveling. She heard their desperate pleas, for she was a goddess of hope, and she came with her dolphins and swam alongside the ships, keeping track of where people were. When there were storms or high seas and boats were shipwrecked, it was Yamaya who saved them by reducing the waves and showing them where land or other boats were. Many saw her in the moonlight, waving to them and showing them where to swim. So it's like, Saturn in Aquarius. It's like, hey, I will instruct you for the good of all. Sometimes she sent her dolphins to swim by and support those who could no longer swim, bringing them closer to shore to find some floating object from which they could get support. The people thanked her and told their children of her, and today Yamaya and her dolphins still look after people by granting them hope, happiness, and wishes, which is straight up like this energy, Ten of Cups. Wherever dolphins have been seen, a story has been crafted about them. The ancient Greeks, with their mythos around boys riding dolphins, and Poseidon, the sea god, being able to transform or control them, are probably the best known. Other seafaring nations, such as those in Polynesia, have stories mentioning the magic of dolphins. The animal. So we'll get really cracked creatures here. In ancient times, the spotting of a dolphin at sea was considered to be good luck, and seafaring peoples saw dolphins as allies and bearers of goodwill. Today, millennia later, seeing a wild dolphin, hurtle itself out of the sea, breaching through the water at the side of your craft, or surfing down the face of a glassy green wave alongside of you, is still an experience that moves us to joy. There are more than 40 members of the dolphin family, from the large killer whale to the tiny Maui's dolphin, and new species are being discovered. For example, the spinner dolphin was confirmed in late 2012 in Western Australia, so that's a It wasn't December 21st, 2012, possibly, maybe when it says late December, who knows, but it's like, that's a new age dolphin, yay. And they were extremely streamlined and very fast in the water, very airy sun. They are not fish, but are mammals, giving birth to the live young. They breathe through the blowhole at the top of their head only and not through their mouths. Dolphins have strong social bonds, Venus and Mars and Aquarius, and live in social groups called pods. They communicate with a vast variety of clicks and sounds to each other and cooperate together to hunt and care for their young. Dolphins have been observed staying with and assisting sick and injured members of their pod. 10 of Cups, right? As the card, 3 of Swords, the clarifier. When you're sick, when you're down and out, or whatever the fucking thing. I don't know the song lyrics that well. It's like, I'll be there, I'll be there. Different song, but you see what I'm saying. Just call my name, dolphinately be there. So they hang out in pods and they help each other, assisting when they're sick. They have also been observed assisting struggling humans in the sea by keeping them afloat or protecting them from sharks. Dolphins are highly intelligent and have large, complex brains with 2 hemispheres that work independently of each other. For example, they sleep with one side of the brain in slow wave, which enables them to be conscious enough to breathe and to scan for threats at the same time. Their brains are as powerful, or also, oh God, I can't speak today. Their brains are also powerful interpreters of the echolocation they use, which is sounded through that smiling lower jaw. Their teeth are shaped to receive incoming sound signals so they can quickly perceive with amazing accuracy where objects are. If you ever swim with wild dolphins, you can hear the many clicks they send towards you to check you out. Dolphins are one of the few animals that use tools, very Saturn and Aquarius, utilizing sponges and sticks to find food, which is a characteristic once thought to be attributed to primates and humans alone. Some scientists have called for special rights to be given to dolphins as non-human persons because of this high level of their intelligence. And they want to make it illegal to kill or make them captive in any way. Dolphins have few wild enemies, however, humans are inflicting great harm and damage. The magic, which is why we're all here. The magic, see that curved smile on a dolphin's face? That will give you a little hint about their magic. When you feel tired and world weary, right? 3 of Swords is the clarifier. When you're down and out, when you're kind of, there's no meaning to life and I've done everything I can and woe is me, mentally. And you've forgotten what it is like to play with a friend in an easy way, 10 of Cups, right? The community that the people you call family energetically, or just how it feels to run free, very Sagittarius moon. Like if you're feeling trapped, if you're feeling alone, if you feel like your fire's out, Aries sun, moon and Sagittarius, if you feel like that kind of fire is not going so well, call in some dolphin magic to remind you. The joyful magic has been used since ancient times, and dolphins have always been seen as an exceptional creature with happy intelligence that has been benevolent for mankind. Symbologies, Poseidon's trident, 2 leaping dolphins, women or boys riding dolphins, dolphins and ships, shells with dolphins painted upon them. Their status ranges from least concerned to critically endangered depending upon the species. Obviously, there's all sorts of types of dolphins, but they bring this fire back into your life, this solar plexus chakra, right? They're very willful in a playful way. They're playing around. They're playing with you like your family. And they're rescuing you from the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune that could be a shipwreck or just a bad day. So tap into that dolphin energy if you're needing to raise your vibes. Let's go ahead and get an I Ching hexagram. Mercury conjunct Neptune is messing me up, clearly. I've got a 12th house Mercury and Mars, and I'm just slipping, sliding through my mispronunciations and stuff. You'd think it was a Mercury retrograde. It ain't. We've got 63. These hexagrams are from the I Ching, and that is the Book of Changes, which is like an ancient Chinese divination system. And it's fascinating. It's old as fuck, and it's 64 hexagrams, but those correspond to our DNA, 64 codons in our DNA. So, this is the second to last one, and it's called, oh gosh, where is it? After fulfillment. So what happens when you're happy and after fulfillment? This is fulfillment, right? The 10 of Cups is ultimate contentedness. So what happens after that? Don't let the blues creep in and be like, well, it's now what? Now what? Right? That's the very 3 of Swords kind of creeping in and taking away, stealing your joy in the moment. But what happens towards the end of the game on page 111? After fulfillment, the genesis of the cosmos precedes chaos. And so, too, does a new order follow every state of confusion in the people's lives. When this new order is achieved, we like to sit back and relax. But beware, this is precisely the point where you need to be careful and observant, for the achievement has not yet stabilized itself. Furthermore, the law dictates that decline begins after every peak. So there is, once you hit the good times in retirement mode, it's like maybe that's when you start realizing there's inflation, right? That kind of stuff. Don't let that take away your happiness. Just kind of make better investments or keep a small income on the side or whatever. Smug self-satisfaction only accelerates the process. You don't want to just be like ignorantly content in retirement mode always. Beware of the illusion that some ideal condition can be everlasting, right? In a sense, Ten of Cups, like it's all good, but like you won't always have Thanksgiving meal with your friends and family every day of your life. Like you're going to have hard days. That doesn't mean you should let your happiness be stolen. You can have joy in spite of circumstances. That's kind of the point. But to think that everything, in America especially, but Western culture tends to think it's like, I want I want a full day of shopping and my belly full, and I want to buzz off of drugs or alcohol. I want to feel sexually fulfilled. Like we want all these things. And those are not bad things in and of themselves, but shock and awe, you're going to find disappointment at the end of that bottle. You're going to, ultimately, you're going to find disappointment in the relationship when you can't connect and, the person is aloof more than you want to be or whatever. You got to find your happiness from within. And then that's how you can see everything is all good, but even when it's not all good, not be thrown by the kind of discomforts that exist. So it's like when it's over, is a Sugar Ray song, right, coming to mind? How do you have fun and enjoy yourself when the day at the theme park's over? Like you don't have to go to another theme park and ride rides again. Beware of the illusion that some ideal condition can be everlasting. That is Neptune conjunct Mercury. It's like this dreaminess. It's like, oh, I'll always be happy and content. It's like, that's an ideal. Nothing is constant except change itself. Remain alert, open to new challenges, and be certain of one thing: your road will take many a turn, leading you over numerous mountains and valleys, right? So, I forget what it said, what it's called, rather. After fulfillment, right? So we do know one thing. We as solar beings, as energetic beings, are going to have to will ourselves, solar plexus chakra, will ourselves through conditions that are both disadvantageous and like not ideal, as well as perfect situations, right? In order to be human, that's just part of the polarity game, right? But we have to find happiness outside of circumstance, even when the completion of the theme park day is over. You've eaten all the cotton candy you can possibly manage. You've ridden all the rides. You're holding hands with your spouse. You're walking home in the sunset. It's like, where do you go from there? And you're going to have to find happiness in the small things as well as the big things. Is kind of the point here. So let's go ahead and get one more card. It is our crystal card, stone card. You can quantumly entangle with this, as with anything really, ideas, people, thoughts, places, whatevs. You don't have to own this skullicite, but you can quantumly entangle with it. I don't own any, right? Oh, this is perfect for the all the Neptunian, Jupiter, Mercury conjunct Neptune energy. What it is, skullicite is a super vibey, icy white stone that forms in needle-like bursts. Who needs it? Up all night worrying about the coming singularity types, right? That's very Three of Swords. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, kind of worrisome people. People who are like, know that, retirement mode doesn't mean it's done. Brave explorers of beautiful dreamscapes, some Sagittarius moons, Sun in Aries energy. Where to put it? Under your pillow, before bed, wherever you want to establish an impenetrable chill zone, Aries Sun. Where do you want to defend your happiness, right? Your chill zone. And it's got to be internal, because the external circumstances, even potentially internal moods and internal narratives and stuff, can really dislocate your happiness. Dolphin card, your joy. So you have to will that shit. You have to will the happiness. It's a matter of choice. When to use it? When it's time to take your sleep hygiene to the next level, i.e. put down the phone, pick up a book, a paper book, sip chamomile tea, slather on the lavender oil, and wait for some rapid eye movement and those dreamy messages marked important by your subconscious. This says dive into your dreams. Very Mercury, Neptune conjunct with Jupiter in Pisces as well. So we can be happy. Don't worry, be happy. It's like when your car's gonna break down and all this shit just goes shitty all around. I don't know the words of this Bobby McFerrin song perfectly. Robin Williams kind of guessed it in the music video, as I recall. Don't worry, be happy. Even if you're at the family reunion, you could be breaking people's nose like Meet the Parents, right? In the pool scene. More water imagery coming through. So after the completion, when you're at the family reunion and you're playing water polo, yes, you're having a good time and be appreciative of it, but be aware that you might break someone's nose. So, you know, try to find the happiness and the humor in everything. Find the good humor, the lightheartedness, the emotional kind of levity. That's a choice. Cup half full, cup half empty. More water imagery, right? And we could be tapping into that with Skullacite. Dive into your dreams. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this reading. If you have, leave a tip. I'd much appreciate that. Check out the Team Rabbit Hole podcast. We have Rebecca Magic coming on today, episode 273. So we're ripping through it. We've had Rupert Sheldrake on. We've had Emmy winners, Emmy-winning directors and cinematographer. We've had awesome, famous people. I'm scheduling out to September now. We're gonna have Richard Rudd, the creator of the Gene Keys, back on with Jamie Kato, a musician and Grammy nominee or winner, I forget, turned movie director. He made an excellent film called Becoming Nobody about Ram Dass, and that's really fascinating. If you haven't seen it, check that out. They're coming on in August. We're doing great things here at Team Rabbit Hole. It's a great time. It's the royal we. It's a family, right? But my God, there's some work involved, and it could cause me to stay up. And even in my mind, I'm like, what? Wow, almost 300 episodes. What do I do after this? Do I use this as a part of my resume, or is this like what I'm doing for the rest of my life, even though we don't get paid? It's a great podcast. Check it out, the Team Rabbit Hole podcast. It makes me happy. It will probably make you happy as well. And ultimately, it helps me dive into my dreams, right, with the subconscious, where it's like we talk about everything from conspiracy theories to art to music to philosophy to spirituality, all the things. So know that today you are a part of the whole. You are loved. You are exactly where you need to be, right? That doesn't mean it's always perfect. Three of Swords, you might be your own worst enemy mentally. You might be in your own way. And realistically, even when everything's perfect, the song loops, right? So it's like a yin-yang, right? Where it's like, oh, everything's white and perfect, like a yuga. Oh, it's the golden age. Now it's the Kali Yuga. Oh my gosh. So after completion, things can maybe not be perfect in your mind, but they always are perfect. 10 of Cups. Try to find your happiness. Through you have to will that shit, you know? You can't just wait for good feelings and dopamine and serotonin. That's why exercise and eating well and doing things that make you happy are good ideas. You don't want to become addicted to feel good things. That's why cocaine heads, coke addicts and alcoholics and stuff have issues, because they think getting that dopamine fix is the answer. You won't find happiness there ultimately, but you can find happiness in all situations, even after the day at the theme park and you've done all the crazy wild things and done everything to the fullest, and you're going home and saying, my belly's full of candied apples and what the fuck do we do now? That's your mind starting to creep in. You could still find beauty in the dream, and it suggests you dive into them after a full productive day. So Holler for readings, $33 for an hour of cards, $88 for 3 hours of astrology, $111 for both, which is like 4 or 5 hours. 5 stars only. Can't complain there. It is my will to help you out. Know thyself is the maxim, and I love helping myself through these cards and helping y'all through this stuff. Check out the Team Rabbit Hole podcast and enjoy your Woden's day. I will catch y'all on the flip side. Adios. Bye.